Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, again. And good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So you just have to excuse me a little minute because I've got to share the video on Twitter and do a few bits. I haven't got organized enough. Won't be a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. So, yeah, I've been on once already this morning, but what I'm here to talk about today, and we're going to stay on theme, I'm not talking about the elections. We're going to talk about Sara Sharif, and the ongoing trial for this little girl was murdered by somebody. And everybody's trying to, there are three people in the frame, basically, or two main people: her father and her stepmother. And, you know, who did it? They're both blaming each other now. So despite her father, Irfan, initially taking responsibility for Sarah's death, now he's decided it wasn't him who did it, it was Beinash. And that's what we're going to look at. The latest in the trial. The trial is ongoing. It's not finished yet. Sorry, I'm just going to put a tweet out to say that I'm streaming. Yeah. So what happened was the police received a call from Irfan, but he was already in Pakistan. Him and the whole family, him, his brother, his wife, who is not Sarah's biological mother, and five children. One of which was Sarah's brother, and the other children are between Irfan and Beinash. Off they went to Pakistan, and then when he was safely in Pakistan, out of the way, Irfan phoned the police, the British police, and said that Sarah was dead, and she was in their house in Woking, and they'd left her there. They just left her there, dead, in her little pajamas. It's terrible. Anyway, sorry, let me just, I've just got to finish this tweet and then I can concentrate. I can concentrate more on what I'm saying to you. Yeah, but of course they were in Pakistan. Anyway, eventually they came back, but only the adults came back. They didn't bring the children back. So the children are still in Pakistan. They can't be, well, you can't, I don't expect you can extradite the children anyway, but there is no extradition treaty with Pakistan. In the end, Irfan and Beinash and Faisal, Irfan's brother, let's have a look at them actually. So these are the terrible sort of trio, if you like. Irfan, the father, on the left, Beinash Batul in the middle, and Faisal on the right. And it's Irfan and Beinash that are blaming each other. Now, originally, Irfan took responsibility. When he phoned the police, he said he did it. He said he beat her in a legal way, he said. But now, no, he said it wasn't him. It was Beinash who did it. And, this is going to be the whole point of this trial, I think, because obviously somebody did it. Sarah didn't do it to herself. Somebody killed Sarah. And it's going to just be a question of, was it Irfan or was it Beinash? I don't think Faisal, although he maybe knew what was going on, because then it transpired that Sarah had been abused over at least 2 years. She had lots of injuries. She'd recently been taken out of school and was being homeschooled. She was suddenly wearing the hijab, whereas before she hadn't. And where before she hadn't been wearing it. Nobody else in the family wore it. It's thought that it was used to cover up bruises, etc., for this poor little girl. Let's just have another look at her little angelic face. Just awful, isn't it? So she was 10 years old when she died. So that's what we're going to talk about. Hi, BF. So I've got the neighbours drilling today. Do you know what? There's always something. If it's not the bloody chihuahua or if it's not my dogs, now it's the neighbours drilling. Do you know what? Have you ever heard of a more noisier place to live? I think, and as I said, they just know when I go on a live. Hi, David. So we're going to start off and just see the moment where these people were arrested. So they agreed to come back to Gatwick and they were arrested immediately that the plane landed. Let's have a look.
Yes. Are you okay just to swap over? Just yourself come with me, and if you go with my colleague over there. Which one is your bag? I don't have any bag. You have no bag. We'll look overhead. Can you put your hands together? Yes,
So he speaks perfect English, this guy. You know that sometimes it's been as if he didn't speak English, because why did he let Beinash speak for him when they were being interviewed in Pakistan? Why didn't he speak? He's Sarah's biological father. Beinash is not Sarah's biological mother. So why did he not speak? Because he does obviously speak perfect English.
Let's stay more outside. Right, hold on to him, Yeah, could you just confirm your name for me, please, sir?
Yeah, Urfan Sharif.
Sharif.
Yeah, Urfan Sharif.
Yes, yeah, that's okay. So, the time is 1947 hours. The body of Sara Sharif was discovered on the 10th of August 2023 on 6 Hammond Road in Horsell. On the injuries sustained by her and the investigation conducted, you are suspected of her murder. You are therefore arrested for the murder of Sara Sharif. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention it.
So this is the brother Faisal. Now, I don't know if he had actually anything to do with the death of Sarah, but he lived in that house. He turned a blind eye. Sarah had been being abused for 2 years, as I say. She had a catalogue of injuries, broken bones, bruises, etc. So he must have known something that was going on there. Anyway, he's been arrested as well, but I don't think he's going to face. Well, he is facing murder charges, but I don't know if he will actually get found guilty of that. But maybe maybe there are other charges he'll be found guilty of. But anyway, so that's Irfan's brother. We're going to watch this again anyway in a minute. So this is Beinash, the stepmother. So the question is really, who did it, her or him? Or was it a combination of the two of them? Let's watch that again. So sorry about the drilling. Honest to God. They just do it on purpose.
Yourself come with me, and if you go with my colleague over there, is that all right?
Like a cabin bag.
Which one is your bag? No bag. We'll look overhead. Can you put your hands together like that, please? Let's stay more outside, okay?
No, they voluntarily came back. I just want to make that clear. They voluntarily came back because I think it just got too difficult for them in Pakistan. So their family were being raided and they were being looked for, etc. So they did voluntarily come back, and I think probably it was always their intention to come back. But the thing is, they left the other children there. So the other children, you know, they're there with family. They're not coming back. So I think that's the reason why they went to Pakistan, wasn't it? Really, to just get the children out there, get the children with so the children couldn't be witnesses, couldn't be interviewed, etc. Personally, I think that's probably why they went to Pakistan, and they probably always had the intention of coming back.
Right, hold on to him. Yeah, could you just confirm your name for me, please, sir?
Yeah, Urfan Sharif.
Sharif.
Yeah, Urfan Sharif.
Yes, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So, time is 1947 hours. The body of Sara Sharif was discovered on the 10th of August 2023 on 6 Hammond Road in Horsell. On the injuries sustained by her, an investigation conducted who was suspected of her murder.
Honestly, I hope you can hear it okay. I'd just abandon it, to be honest. It's just that I don't know how long it's going to go on for, so I might never get a chance to do the video otherwise. But I hope you can hear okay. So that was the moment that they were arrested at Gatwick Airport. Now I'm going to read you the latest developments in this trial, this poor girl. So now, Irfan, after, I don't know if you can hear, can you hear me okay? Tell me, because if you can't, I'm just going to have to abandon it. They're getting louder and louder. Can you actually... Can you hear me? Or is it just all... Yeah, okay. Oh my God. And it's a serious case as well, you know, the bloody twonks next door, honest to God. I've got to find somewhere else to live. You can't live in the... There's always something. I thought, oh, it'd be nice and quiet this morning. The big dog's upstairs, not come down yet. Be nice and quiet. And now this. But anyway, never mind. So apparently the father, Irfan, he begged to save his daughter, but he was told to leave it, his defence says. So his defence now is taking the view that Irfan Sharif has been wrongly portrayed as the villain of the piece. But of course, he did confess himself. I mean, you know, he confessed on the telephone to the police. We listened to the phone call, and it was him who confessed. So that's why, obviously, you know, it seemed like him. But now he's saying, no, no, no. So he's now saying he tried to save his daughter and he begged for an ambulance, but he was told, leave it. She's already dead. His defence team told jurors. Irfan Sharif, 42, is on trial at the Old Bailey, accused of murdering the 10-year-old girl, along with her stepmother, Beinash Batul, 30, and her uncle, Faisal Malik, 29. So Sarah was found dead at her home in Woking, Surrey on the 10th of August 2023, and taxi driver Sharif had called the police from Pakistan, telling them he had beaten her too much. And do you remember he said, oh, I beat her legally, he said. I beat her legally, but I beat her too much. Anyway, and warning, because this is distressing, hearing what's happened to this little girl. So he has denied physically abusing and killing Sarah as he began to give his evidence in his defence on Tuesday, so yesterday. So the jury has heard that Sarah suffered dozens of injuries, including burns and human bite marks. Now, what's interesting about the bite marks is both Irfan and Faisal have given dental impressions, and the bite marks on Sarah are not from them. And Beinash Batul, the stepmother, she has refused to give dental impressions. So, I mean, refusing to give them is more or less like saying I did it, isn't it, really? Oh, bless her. So, asked by his barrister, Naeem Mian Casey, if he was responsible for Sarah's death, Sharif said no. And Mr. Mian suggested that Sharif had been wrongly portrayed as the villain of the piece. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all villains of the piece, because doesn't, in a way, it's regardless of who actually killed Sarah, the other two would have known about the abuse that she was suffering. So jurors heard that Batul told him to come home. So apparently she phoned him while he was at work, apparently doing his taxiing, when Sarah collapsed at her home on the 8th of August. And jurors heard that Batul, Beinash Batul, the stepmother, phoned him, asked him to come home, and he found Sarah upstairs with Beinash Batul limp. And then, having been told what happened, which we still don't know what apparently happened yet, he said, I will take the blame. And he will tell you that he attempted CPR. He begged for an ambulance to be called as he did CPR. And he was told by Beinash, I presume, in Urdu or Punjabi, leave it. She's dead. Leave it. She's dead. So Irfan Sharif wept in the witness box as he described his daughter. He said she was beautiful, an angel, lovely, bubbly. Her hobby was playing guitar and singing. Her wish for what she wanted to be when she grew up was a ballet dancer. Her favourite adult was her granddad, my father. Her favourite colour was pink. And Mr. Mian said, did you beat your biological daughter, Sarah? And he replied, I did slap her. I have lots of flaws in my life, but I never beat her, never. So what does he mean by I did slap her? Once, we just like lose it, everyone's guilty of losing their temper sometimes. But there's a big difference between, what does he mean by a slap for a start? Slap on the back of the legs, slap across the face. They've all got a different weight of seriousness, haven't they? I mean, they're all bad, of course. None of them are good, but, and then, of course, a slap on the back of the legs is not like a punch or literally beating someone with a belt. Or, wasn't there a cricket bat that they thought had been used to beat Sarah? I mean, these are different level, aren't they? So the defendant also denied controlling his wife Batul, saying they had a traditional relationship. He worked and she was the boss at home. Now, I think it's important to remember that quite often Indian women, they have a lot of power. They're the matriarch of the family, and they're not without power. Maybe it is traditional roles, but they're still roles that are just as important as each other, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility that she was in control at home. I just don't, I don't know, because I don't know their relationship, but, is he just, what is he hoping for here? Is this what the defense decided to do for both of them? Cast blame on the other one so that both of them get a lighter sentence, because it'd be a struggle to prove who actually killed Sarah. This is the problem. And the problem is they have not identified a specific cause of death yet for Sarah. So there are problems in this case. So, the barrister said that Beinash Batul had refused to give dental impressions to compare with bite marks on Sarah. That just says it all, doesn't it? But, as you say, David, why can't they go to the dentist and get dental records, subpoena her dental records? So all three defendants deny murder and causing or allowing the death of a child between 16th of September, between 16th of September 2022 and the 9th of August. What? Well, she didn't die. They know when she died, or at least they think it was the 8th of August. And what do they mean between 16th of December? That's a strange thing, isn't it? Why say that? They murder and causing or allowing the death of a child between the 16th of December 2022 and the 9th of August 2023. Don't really know why it's that is the date limit. Anybody any ideas about why it would say that? Any ideas? Do you know, BF, why they might say that? The death of a child between 16th of December 2022 and 9th of August 2023. Maybe she had an injury from ages ago that eventually caused her death. I mean, she had so many injuries, this girl. So many injuries, burns, bites, you know. She was covered. Didn't they say she had, was it 70 injuries? Anyway, let's find another article to read about it. So basically, this is the latest update, is that now, after saying he did it, now he's saying, no, he didn't do it. No, he didn't do it. So apparently the court, I'd like to see this video, but, you know, because it'd be just nice to see Sarah enjoying herself, because hopefully she had no horrible short life, a sad short life that was full of so much abuse. I hope she had some happy times. So apparently Sara was videoed dancing at home days before her death, the court was told. Jurors have been shown footage of Sara dancing at home in a video, which was allegedly taken by her stepmother 2 days before she died. So what they're trying to do is show that she was dancing 2 days before. Anyway, the Old Bailey has heard that the girl suffered dozens of injuries, including burns, human bite marks, in what the prosecution alleged was a weeks-long campaign of abuse against her, culminating in her death on August the 8th. So a video said to have been taken by Batul was played in court on Monday, showing Sara dancing at home, which on the available evidence appears to have been taken on August the 6th last year. And apparently Beinash Batul, the stepmother, cried in the dock when the video was played. So they're all crying now. You know, they beat her and tortured her, or stood by while somebody else beat her and tortured her. And now they're all crying and saying how lovely she was and how much they loved her. Good God. Forensic pathologist Dr. Nathaniel Carey agreed, while he was being cross-examined by Carolyn Carberry for Batul, that Sara appears coordinated, alert and smiling at the camera. He also agreed her behaviour in the video is inconsistent with her having suffered a brain injury with associated neurological symptoms at that time. So I suppose they can't even establish exactly which injury finally killed her off. She had that many, and when she sustained that injury. Miss Carberry said there was no dispute on the part of her client that Sara was subjected to extensive physical abuse over a period of time. So Beinash Batul, she's not saying that Sara wasn't subjected to abuse, but I suppose what she's saying is that it was Irfan who did it. And what he's saying is he was always at work and she was the one who was the boss at home. So it was her. Sarah's body was found in a bunk bed at her home after Sharif alerted police, having fled with the family to Pakistan. And so, yeah, they've all denied. So they've all denied it. Let's just have a look at that. Did you see that? It was... Oh. Some of Sarah Sharif's injuries were extremely rare and more normally caused by car crashes. Let's just have a read of that. So Sarah Sharif had multiple unexplained fractures in 25 locations on her body, which were most likely caused by multiple episodes. Oh God, it keeps jumping. Multiple episodes of blunt force trauma inflicted over several weeks. More than 70 injuries. No wonder it's difficult to establish properly a cause of death. And don't forget, they found that she'd had hoods put over her face and things like that. She was restrained, etc. So on Friday, so last Friday, the consultant paediatric radiologist, Owen Arthurs, told jurors there were multiple unexplained fractures in 25 locations on her body. Gosh. So what do we think? You know, do we believe him? That it was her who did it? Do we believe what he first confessed to when he phoned the police and he said it was him? Or is it just so much a mixture? So this guy told the court, my opinion of most of the fractures in this case were that they were very unusual and cannot be explained by an accidental mechanism, nor can they be explained as any single high-impact trauma event. He highlighted fractures to Sarah's hyoid in her neck, the vertebrae in her spine, and her hand in particular. And he said the fracture to the hyoid is extremely rare, adding, I have not ever seen a hyoid fracture in a child, even in those where we have a very good history of ligature strangulation. The most likely case here is manual strangulation, with a degree of force above that what we would commonly recognise in ligature strangulation. And of the fractures in her spine, he said they were likely caused by high velocity impact or multiple trauma. Spinal fractures are very rare and usually caused by road traffic accidents or falling from a height. There were also fractures to Sarah's right clavicle, both shoulder blades, ribs and right elbow, the court heard. How did she even manage to dance? You know, they're saying that video of her dancing was 2 days before she died. How did she manage to do that, to dance and put a smile on her face? There is no evidence that Sarah was suffering from any underlying bone abnormality as far as the imaging is concerned. And my opinion is that the most likely explanation, where's it gone? God, it's jumped again. Oh, it's gone. Can't find it. Oh, there. The most likely explanation for the injury is the constellation of injuries, including location, pattern, severity, healing pattern, and some refractures on multiple episodes of blunt force trauma inflicted over several weeks. X-rays of the different fractures were shown, and jurors heard estimates of when each injury occurred, ranging from less than 10 days to 12 weeks before Sarah's death. And her cause of death was finally given as complications arising from multiple injuries and neglect. Traces of the schoolgirl's blood were discovered on the kitchen floor, a vacuum cleaner and a cricket bat, following a police search of the family home, along with homemade hoods used to restrain her. So, yeah, So it's all horrible, isn't it? So I hope it hasn't upset anybody too much. But, you know, somebody's going to get found responsible, hopefully. I agree, David. I think they all had a hand in a death, as you say. They all had a hand in it. But is that going to reduce? You know, supposing they can't clearly say that it was one person in particular who did it, and they're all going to get some sort of a sentence, but will it reduce the sentence that they get? That would not be good, would it? So, anyway. Okay, well, I know it's not very good news, was it? But you know, it's very sad, this whole thing, this trial. But you know what? It's important because these three twonks. I personally, there's something about her, that Beinash. I don't know what it is, but they're all twonks as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't matter whether she did it, he did it, or the other guy did it. They all knew that Sara was being beaten, being abused like that. So God knows what else is going to come out in this trial. But they all knew, so they are all equally guilty. But I don't want to see any of them get off. But also, I don't want to see them get a lighter sentence because I can't establish who it was. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't know. But because if they find him guilty, but the other two they might find not guilty, she might get away with nothing, or he might get away with nothing if she's found guilty. I think this is the ploy, if you like, by the defence, is to sort of just create so much smoke and mirrors around it. It'll be difficult to really prosecute anyone. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The stepmother is definitely the person who's bitten Sara, because otherwise, well, for a start, they've been cleared of that. They both gave the two guys gave their dental impressions. They were not the teeth marks that were on Sara, and the stepmother refused to give a dental impression. So I think we can presume that she's definitely the biter. But of course, biting, horrible as it is, and it seems awful to do that to a child, it's not murder, is it? So, yeah, we'll see. Okay, so that's it. I just thought I'd give you an update. I'll be giving you an update every couple of days about what's going on in Sara's trial. We're going to we've been with this from the beginning. We'll stick with it to the end, as we do. But I'll be back probably later with another video tonight now, probably. I've got some really interesting things to talk about, but, it's just a question of deciding. You never know what might come up as well. It's always things happening, aren't there? But I've got an idea of the next video that I'm going to do, and I hope you'll find it interesting. I think you will. But I'll see you really soon anyway in the next video. Oh, let me put my face on, say goodbye. I like to put my face on, say goodbye. So, I hope you all have a good day or a good afternoon or a good evening. Don't forget to like. I want to say hello to the people that are watching at home. Hello to the replay crew. Please don't forget to leave your DNA on the like button and think about subscribing if you're not subscribed already. So, thank you so much. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God go with you. Adios.